Welcome to My Alpha Empowerment. This is Josh, and today's topic is why reapproaching can go bad. Okay, so before I go into why reapproaching can go bad, I want to first define what reapproaching actually is. Reapproaching is not the first approach. That is a first impression. Now, reapproaching is when you repeatedly see the same woman in public, whether that's at a grocery store, a bookstore, a shop, or if you repeatedly see her at the same coffee shop in her daily routines. It's very easy to fall into weird mindsets when you repeatedly see the same woman day after day or week after week. And I want to go over some of the reasons why it can go bad and show you how to approach this with the right mindset so your chances of you seeing her on a date are going to skyrocket. So real quick, before I go into these descriptions, I want to talk about how this happened to me so many times personally. You guys know that being transparent is very valuable to me, and I don't want to paint the picture like I've never been through any of this, because if it wasn't through these mistakes that I have made, I would not be making this video right now. And it's so awesome because I can relate to each one of you watching this video right now. I'm not perfect. In fact, even at my mastery level, I still make mistakes here and there. But I've learned what works and what doesn't work, and I want to share these simple secrets with you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this brief video. I mean, come on. You know what it's like to be like Don Juan one day, and then the next time you see that woman, you're like a freaking dweeb, okay? I know what that's like, and it plays tricks with your mind, but you just got to learn that the reason that second approach or that third approach went haywire, it's because you put extreme pressure on yourself and you didn't allow it to flow naturally like that first interaction went with her. The first interaction, you were completely in the moment, you weren't in the head, you weren't having any preconceived ideas about the interaction, and you didn't try to force that first approach. And that is what is different about that first approach and the reapproaches that go terribly bad. So the first thing is, the first reason why reapproaching can go bad is because you try to relive that first approach and it ends up appearing forced and it's not natural anymore. Now, I can relate to this throughout my entire life. Okay, this is very common. Don't ever feel terrible about yourself for having a bad reapproach or just completely screwing up, because sometimes women can be really harsh with this reapproach thing. You know, if you come and you appear like you're, chasing her down, or any little sign of needy, clingy little boy material, she, depending on the level of her looks and the level of her status, she can totally blow you off, and it can hurt because you're like, well, I thought she liked me and I thought the first interaction went good, and she must be a complete, biatch, and I don't trust any woman. I'm not going to do this anymore. I give up. We don't want that to happen, okay? And you don't want to base your confidence on how every approach goes, too. Your confidence should come from within. It shouldn't be outcome dependent on everything that happens to you. Okay, so another reason why reapproaching can go bad is you go out with the only goal to see her again. So this entire time you're traveling in your car, you get out of your car, you're walking into the store that you see her on that regular basis, all that's going through your mind is, I better see her again, and this time I'm going to get her number. And you literally are consumed with the thought of approaching her again. And this is a downward spiral. Usually this is going to lead you into that awkward mindset, and it's going to put all this pressure on yourself, like I was saying. You don't want this to happen. So that is another reason why reapproaching can go bad. The first one is you try to relive the first interaction. The second reason is you go out being consumed with the thought of approaching her again. And the third reason why reapproaching can go bad is you feel like this is your last chance of ever talking to her or ever being able to get her number or ask her out. And if you feel this dreaded emotion, she can feel it too. And you don't want this to happen. You want to feel like it's no big deal if you never see her again. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but in reality, you have to feel this way. You can't be so locked onto a stranger that quick. You can't do that. That is putting her on a pedestal, and she doesn't want to be placed there. I promise you this. So, you want to go out with the mindset that she isn't the only one out there for you. Okay? That is called abundance versus a lack. You want to have an abundance mindset when you go out. And if you go out and you know you're going to run into her, a good mindset to have is, okay, I know I'm going to see her out there today, but you know what? I think there's some other cute girls that I'm going to run into. And you go out there and you start talking to other women, and before you know it, you know, she can see that you're interacting with not just her, everybody around you, male and female, you know, and you're not so focused on getting her number. And this is going to be very attractive to her. She's going to feel like you're a real man, and you're not so focused on that outcome you're going to get with her. And in return, she will become more attracted to you than if you put a demand on her and try to force it. Now, guys, when you're watching this video right now, I want you to understand that there's one golden rule that always works. That golden rule is whenever you have to really force something, something isn't right. And there are times you've got to push through a cloudy mind, and say if you don't feel like approaching one, there are times you've got to push through to practice that. That's good practice. But if you're really having to force an interaction with her and she's, you know, showing zero interest, okay, just let it go. Don't be so upset about how one went bad, because that's just one. No matter how good you are, guys, it's going to happen. And you got to learn how to deal with this, or you will never get to the professional level of attracting women. Okay, so now to combat the reasons why reapproaching doesn't work, I'm going to give you solutions to each one of those reasons. And the first reason was trying to relive that first approach, that first interaction with her. So how you let this become a good interaction the second time is, say if you were in a funny mood that day you first interacted with her. If you try to relive the funny man, if you try to relive you know, the humor that you used, sometimes it can go bad because the first time you used that with her, it was really natural and you weren't forcing it. But the second time, you may try to have a pre-joke plan for that interaction, and it can go really bad. So it's okay to let that serious side out the second time you see her. And you don't always have to be, you know, getting her like giggling on the floor and all that. I mean, that's fun here and there, but if you're always a jokester, it's not cool either. So it's just finding the right balance. Like, don't be afraid to just be normal with her that second time. That should happen. It could just be like, hey, how are you? Good to see you, you know, and you could get her number that time. You don't have to always be the clowny at the circus. Okay, so how we're going to combat the second reason why reapproaching can go bad is your life mission and your daily routine must be at the forefront of your thinking. Like I said, the second one is being totally consumed with the thought of seeing her again. And this can cause a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, and we don't want this. So say if you're going to the grocery store, you want to focus more on the grocery shopping and enjoying the grocery shopping than actually interacting with her. And I know this sounds really stupid, but it's what actually works. Because if all you think about is what am I going to say? How am I going to make her laugh again? How am I going to get her number? It's not going to work. Whatever it takes to get your mind off of that interaction, that's what we want. And when you're so focused on your life mission and you're excited about a new business project or anything along those lines, and all of a sudden you're shopping and boom, she's right there, you're ready to go. You're not so zoned in on what am I going to say. You're just zoned in on my mission, what I'm here to do today. And if you're shopping, like I said, have that in the forefront of your mind and focus on other people too. Don't be so thinking about her. And this will definitely help. Okay, so how we're going to confront the third reason why reapproaching can go bad, the third reason is because you feel like it's going to be your last time ever seeing her again. And my solution to this is realize deep inside that there are tons of beautiful women out there. And this should not be the only woman that you are approaching. There should be many women you are approaching almost every day. And it's not that you're going to go out with every one of them. You're just being fair to all of them. Okay? And I'm not saying if you're married you got to approach women now. I'm saying before you get into a relationship with one, you should not put one on a pedestal. And this is really crucial before you get into a relationship with one, because it will be hard to if she's very isolated in your mind. And she'll be able to feel this right off the bat. So if you are approaching several women, this will be the solution to overcoming the fear of never seeing her again. So guys, I want to thank you for watching this video today. Subscribe to my channel and enjoy being coached from the inside out.